you are facing your own storms. And storms are not a bad thing. We learn so much from all of life's lessons, whether they're joyful or painful, they carry a wisdom. Welcome to Intuition Unlocked, the podcast empowering empathic women who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, or disconnected from their intuition, begin to trust their sensitivities, find inner clarity, and show up with embodied, unstoppable confidence in their daily lives. I am your host, Olivia Ashley, an empath and intuitive, and I am so happy you're here. Hello, friends. Welcome back. I'm your host, Olivia, and here we are again for another week. This is our weekly energy forecast episodes where I use my intuition to channel insights specifically for you. If you have made your way here, if you are listening, I know there's something here for you. And as always, please take what resonates, leave the rest, and just be open-minded as you listen to these energy forecasts. So we are looking at the energy for the week of November 17th through the 23rd. We are coming off of a pretty big full moon in Taurus, and last week, if you tuned in, there was these light blasts is what I called them because I just kept seeing this light coming forward and I didn't even realize it was a full moon. It really clicked when I did find out that was happening at the end of the week, and it makes sense. We have a lot of new energy coming in. Really grounding energy, integrative energy, uncovering energy, and it feels like this energy is continuing into this week. I'd be curious what came up for you last week, especially seeing that we had a lot of influx of light, of these new perspectives coming in, of just understanding things in a different way. And this week continues and invites you into a powerful theme. We are stepping into another week of deep reflection, inner fortification, and purposeful transformation. All of these seem pretty big and yet purposeful. And when I say big, it's mostly that the energy is powerful. The energy is coming with this, there is work to be done. Are you ready? Let's go deep. I use that sense deep as we are going much more inward and reflecting much more deeply than usual. Things around us are shifting rapidly. I'm sure you might be picking up on this or noticing this, and time is flying. And so when I felt into this week's energy, there was a sense of needing to close the shutters, turn inward, and really take stock of where you are and where you're headed. It's very important to be not only being in this present, but having a plan forward. So let's explore how to navigate this stormy energy we are facing with clarity, curiosity, and courage, and uncover the wisdom that is here for us this week. The energy theme of the week is really weather the storm. It is asking us to brave this inner and outer storm with intention. I immediately, when I dropped in, got this sense of you came inside, you closed the shutters, and there's lightning. There's lots of lightning. There's a big storm outside, and you don't feel fearful. It's not a storm to fear, but it's a storm that's blowing through to really change the external aspects, to bring in new energy, bring in this electrification, this transformation, this spark. And so while this is happening externally around us, it's a time to fortify internally, like with a power, with a wise sense about it, that it's not just driven with chaos, it's driven with purpose. And so this week, it might be really helpful to ponder these questions. What is your purpose? Where do your goals and desire lie for the next chapter of your life? Are you clear on your why behind your choices and your path? So take stock of these things in your life, your choices, your energy, your why, what drives your actions, from both the food you eat to the media you consume. Your life is a reflection of where you place your energy. And Are you creating vitality or inviting challenges by staying stagnant or doing the same thing over and over but expecting different results? So, can you take the lens of curiosity and neutrality and ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? And if you lack clarity right now in any of these questions, it's the perfect time to begin crafting your why. That why feels very important and very purposeful, and like it will help you start to illuminate some of the questions or things you've been feeling or uncertain around. So as you move through this week, begin to embody the wisdom that comes from your storms. We are all in a collective storm, but you are facing your own storms. And storms are not a bad thing. We learn so much from all of life's lessons, whether they're joyful or painful, they carry a wisdom. And so the challenges that come forward can help you move beyond a surface understanding and start to let you embody that wisdom, that your experiences, that what you uniquely have gone through have gifted you. So there's an invitation to embrace this wildness, this wild feminine rooted power that comes from within. It helps us dance through the changes with courage and trust. And this energy that comes forward through this allows you to lean into the transformation and meet this unexpected with a sense of grace and resilience. So you can channel this wisdom, this moment of clarity, of pause almost that the storm is bringing you into powerful growth, because that is its purpose underneath. Why we are in this storm this week is because there is a purpose. It's illuminating, it's forcing us to reflect and go within and make sense and find our why and empower ourselves to go, we are powerful, we are purposeful, we have potential in every moment. And it is through our choices and our beliefs and our understanding that creates our life around us. What you can really focus on this week too is finding your center amidst this chaos and this storm and this uncertainty. Because I see as the storm is swirling, there is a need to start to ground into our body. And yet this week is unusual because I've said this for the last couple weeks because it feels so important in this time and space to ground, to come in. But this week, your usual practices may feel off kilter, like they aren't quite hitting the mark. And so use it as an opportunity to possibly find new ways to connect to your inner self, your inner light, your grounded sense, your homeostasis of coming back to that harmony within and anchor you. That's the goal this week. So how are you able to stay true to your center and true to yourself when your go-to tools feel ineffective? How do you pivot? Remembering that your inner truth is always accessible, even when it feels distant. And again, it feels like we're being challenged. It's purposeful. There's a reason these things and these practices that we usually go to aren't working, because we're being challenged to act, to think, to be a little differently. Because if we're moving towards something or wanting something to be different in our life or trying to step into a different space, if we are not changing on any other level, but just hoping or trying or pushing towards this new path, it's going to be really clunky and we're not really going to get there because we haven't changed. We haven't learned. We are not in harmony with ourselves always. So noticing where are things a little bit out of alignment and how can you start to bring in new, fresh understanding and practices so you can become whomever you're trying to become. Noting who you are now is perfect, and yet this life is a dance, it's a journey, it's a creation of whatever you'd like it to be. So coming back to yourself and finding that truth within is important this week. The last piece I feel that has come in really strongly, and I'm noticing this even with myself the last day or two, is I'm feeling that there is an ancestor or a past loved one that's really close and around you. Someone's trying to reach out with a message. And so I'm curious if you've noticed any signs. It could be a dream, a song, a color, a symbol, an animal that might remind you of someone. Take a moment and reflect and see, has anything come forward that's made me think of someone who's passed or feel like there's been a nudge to remember or think about them. And you don't need to wait for a sign this week. You can. They do feel like they're coming and you're going to receive them. But you can also invite connection if this sparks something with you. So you could light a candle and set an intention around wanting to connect to them, to your ancestor and or a loved one who you're feeling it might be, or just wanting to get a sense of who it is. Or you can use an oracle deck and pull a card or a couple cards asking something around what message is here for me this week from my well ancestor. And then listen and trust what comes forward. There is someone here, and I'd be really curious to see if you have any experiences. Like I said, for me, the last couple of days, I've really been feeling my father. I've had multiple signs and things that just have said dad, or a photo that's come up that was a message from him that he sent many years ago that I happened to screenshot. I just put my finger on it and find it in my photos, and I didn't even know it was still there. So I feel him close and it feels really supportive, and I'm comforted by these messages, and there's something more for me to investigate there with him. So I'll share that as an invitation to just explore, see who's there knocking on your door. So all in all, this week asks you to weather the storm with strength, reflection, and curiosity. When you clarify your why, and you embrace this wild feminine power that I'm really feeling starting to come forward, you can open yourself up to transformation and this profound wisdom. This is 1 week's energy, and yet all this energy stacks. It is like we're walking these beautiful stepping stones that are taking us somewhere. We are crafting them, we are placing them, we are walking our walk. And so not all this transformation or this wisdom is going to illuminate now, or you might get a sense of what it is, and you may not know where and how this is going to play out in your life. And yet that doesn't diminish from understanding or working with it or opening yourself up to the possibility, because we are constantly in change and transformation and death and rebirth and growth and decay and all the in between. I think this week is a reminder, and a powerful one, that there is a lot happening without and within. And can you settle? Can you trust? Can you come back to yourself and reset your why and your understanding? If this resonated with you, please make sure to follow the show for more intuitive insights and leave a rating or review if you would be so inclined. It really helps this podcast and community reach others who are just like you, and I sincerely appreciate any effort you put towards those things. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Hang in there through the storm. You are strong, you are abundant, you are grounded, and keep following your truth. I'll be back on Wednesday with another episode. And until then, have a wonderful week this week. Thank you for joining me on Intuition Unlocked. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of insight, guidance, or intuitive inspiration. To dive deeper into our community and get access to exclusive content, head to my website at www.olivia-ashley.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You can also connect with me on Instagram at wildlyolivia for daily inspiration and updates. Remember, your intuition is your superpower. Trust it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Until next time, I'm Olivia Ashley, and I can't wait to connect with you again.